to ASMR with Mr. Seamus. Today we're going to be exploring holiday favorites. But first, we're going to do some breathing. In through your nose and out through your mouth. How are you doing today? That's good. Are you enjoying the holiday festivities so far this year? Good. That's good. The first book we're going to be reading today is the Hanukkah Bear. Okay. By Eric Kimmel, illustrated by Mike Wanutka. Hanukkah Bear. Old Bear smelled something yummy. Where was it coming from? It was coming from Bobby Branna's house. Bobby Branna was making Hanukkah latkes for the rabbi. Oh, there's a lucky rabbi there. Bobby Branna heard a knock and opened the door. But Bobby Branna couldn't see well, and she couldn't hear well. Bobby Branna thought Old Bear was the rabbi. I'll take your coat, Rabbi, Bobby Branna said. Old Bear roared. Okay, keep it on, said Bobby Branna. Old Bear followed his nose to the oven. He said. Wait, said Bobby Branna. I must light the menorah before we eat. Will you say the blessing? Old Bear growled. Oh, Rabbi, Bobby Branna said, you say the blessing so beautifully. And now, it's time for latkes and jam. Old Bear gobbled 5 big latkes all at once. Bobby Branna laughed. You eat like a bear. Now be still while I wipe the jam off your beard. Said Old Bear. After his big meal, Old Bear was very sleepy. It's time to go home, Bobby Branna said. But before you leave, I have a present for you. I made it myself, she said. Bobby Branna blushed when Old Bear licked her face. Old Bear shuffled out the door and into the night. Good night and happy Hanukkah, Bobby Branna said. Bobby Branna heard another knock. Her friends had come to wish her a happy Hanukkah. It's so nice to see you, Bobby Branna said. But I don't have any more latkes. The rabbi came earlier and ate them all. But I'm the rabbi, said a man in the crowd. Something strange is happening, Bobby Branna said. Someone came by who looks like you, talks like you, and even has your beard. Just then the children cried, "Bear tracks!" Booby Brainer laughed. "That was a very clever bear," she said. "Now bring some potatoes from the cellar, and fetch my grater and bowl, and if we all work together, we'll soon have latkes for everyone." Deep in the forest, Old Bear slumbered and is dead. Pleasant dreams, Old Bear, and happy Hanukkah. That's our Hanukkah one, and now we have a very die-hard Christmas coming up next. "'Twas the night before Christmas, and up in the tower everyone was partying except one wallflower. John McClane missed his wife. Things just weren't the same since Holly had moved west and changed her last name. He tried to win her back, but still she said no, while unbeknownst to them, there was trouble below. A truck had pulled up, and who should disembark but 14 men whose intentions were dark. They spoke not a word and unloaded big crates. They cut the phone lines and locked all the gates. Carl swept the ground floor, shooting every guard dead, while visions of bearer bonds danced in his head. John took off his shoes, making fists with his toes. It actually worked. Well, what do you know? When out in the lobby there arose such a clatter, he sprung to the door to see what was the matter. When what to the wondering eyes should appear, holy crap, there are terrorists here. John hid under a table where no one could see, and watched Hans question Mr. Tagagi. "I'm going to count to 3. There will not be a 4. Give me the codes to open the vault door." "I don't know the codes, so go ahead and shoot." "Okay," said Han Grubers, and ruined Tagagi's suit. John tried to call the cops by pulling an alarm, but instead called the bad guys who he tried to cause him harm. But John killed Tony, who has very small feet, and sent him to the terrorists as Yuletide treat. He put his Santa hat on the German, and eyes all aglow, wrote, "Now I have a machine gun. Ho, ho, ho." Carl was furious. Tony was his brother. He chased John across the roof, and they shot at each other. John was able to escape through the ventilation shafts. "Come out to the coast," he sighed. "We'll have a few laughs." At Nakatomi Tower, Sergeant Powell appeared. He checked the whole lobby and saw nothing weird. He was pulling away but didn't get far before Mako landed on the hood of his car. Powell drove away backward, screaming in fright. "Welcome to the party, pal," John yelled with delight. More police arrived, the FBI and a SWAT team. But Hans didn't mind, it was all part of his scheme. More rapid than eagles, his henchmen they came, and he radioed and shouted and called them by name. Now Eddie, now James, now Franco, now Yuli, on Fritz and on Karl, hair long and unruly. They shot the SWAT tank with a surface-to-air missile and knocked it away like the down of a thistle. Now John McClane was angry indeed. He blew up 2 terrorists and called them jerkweed. Ellis told Hans, "Booby, I'm your white knight." Hans shot him dead, giving the hostages a fright. Hans went to go check on the explosives fuse and saw that poor John wasn't wearing any shoes. John fled from Karl and Hans, but alas, he had to run barefoot over sharp, broken glass. His feet, now they hurt, his sole's oh so bloody. John crawled to the bathroom and called his good buddy. John was weary and ready to throw in the towel until they got a pep talk from Sergeant Al Powell. Powell was chubby and plump, a right jolly old cop, and he trusted the cowboy in the tattered tank top. But a reporter was probing into McClane's life and revealed that Holly was actually John's wife. Hans quickly flipped over the gold picture frame. "It's a pleasure to meet you, Mrs. McClane." His clothes all tarnished with ashes and soot, John staggered to the roof, bloody and barefoot. The explosives were wired to the rooftop with care, in hopes that the hostages soon would be there. Around his waist he tied a fire hose tight, and screaming on oath, jumped into the night. He dangled in the air and gritted his teeth, while flames encircled the tower like a wreath. Firefly fighting his way back inside, John yelled out, "Hans!" He was done trying to hide. He limped up to the vault like an old man on crutches, only to find Holly in his filthy clutches. John dropped his gun, put his hands on his head. It seems he and Holly would soon be dead. But with a secret gun taped to his back, John shot Hans in a surprise attack. Hans fell out the window, still holding Holly's arm, and slowly, deliberately raised his firearm. The tenacious villain held on by his nails till John unhooked Holly's watch and said, "Happy trails." Bare bonds flooded like fresh fallen snow as Holly embraced her blood-spattered beau. So Merry Christmas to all, be kind to one another, and most of all, yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. Hope you enjoyed story time here, holiday story time, and I hope you enjoy your holiday season and have a beautiful time.